The most dangerous war you'll ever fight is the one between the voice that says keep going and the one that whispers give up. What your ideal scenario looks like is unknown to me. Maybe it's buried deep inside you. Maybe it's been crushed, stepped on, mocked, or forgotten. The path to success you aspire to is a solitary one. There won't always be cheers or support. Often you'll walk alone, questioning every step. For dread will try to tell you that you're finished. Success lives in the small things, the early mornings, the last rep, the skipped excuses, the silenced doubts. Aim small, miss small. Because it takes just one action at a time to move mountains. Life gives you 24 hours a day. How you use them builds your future. You don't get to blame the world or point fingers. You own every second. Even when no one's watching. Even when everything's gone except your will. That's where champions are made. In the silence, in the chaos, in the dark. When your desire is as strong as your need to breathe, you'll find a way. If you fail, so what? At least you tried. And that has greater power than harboring regrets. What if never built legends, but you still can? Follow, subscribe. Not for me, for the warrior inside you that refuses to give up, and how you spend them. That's who you become. Let's face it. Not for titles, but to find out who you really are. And when you get there, don't just think it, feel it. But none of that matters unless you decide quitting is no longer part of your story. It's not over. Not now. Not ever. Not until you win. Feel yourself rising, becoming, evolving into the version of you waiting at the finish line. Don't overthink it. Just feel it. See it. And go be it. Look it dead in the eye. See, it was always small. You were always bigger. You weren't born to break. You were born to rise. You're not weak. You're not inadequate. You're more powerful than you've ever believed. But that power only reveals itself when you're willing to fall and rise again and again and again. And that's exactly when you're just getting started. You're still hearing that small voice saying, keep going, and follow it. You've been fighting an invisible war all along, and the enemy has always been you. There's no villain standing in your way, no wall you can't scale. The only real threat is the side of you that believes you're not enough. But the truth, you are enough. You always have been. But your mission isn't to follow the noise. It's to trust that inner voice that whispers, keep going. Even when you're tired. Even when nothing seems to be changing. Even when your only company is your shadow, afraid of dying with your gift still locked inside. The fear of death isn't weakness, it's fuel. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs you. But you must face yourself to become that person, without masks, without lies, just the raw, unfiltered truth. The dream that lives in your soul is more powerful than the fear that lives in your mind. Don't let fear wear the crown. Don't let it sit where your purpose belongs. You are not the fear or the fire. And once you realize that, fear becomes nothing but noise. Let it remind you that time is short and your mission is urgent. You don't need permission to re-only courage. Climb without a rope. Move without guarantees. Fight without applause. And rise anyway. Because when you do, you stop being just a person. You become a force. And if someone doesn't want to stop himself, nobody can stop them. I don't know how many times life has hit you with disappointment while chasing it. But here's what I know for sure. No matter how distant it feels, that dream is still possible. Even if no one believes in it. Even if you barely believe in it yourself, it is still possible. You don't need to shout, I will win. Sometimes you only need to murmur, it's possible. And moving forward anyway. Maybe you don't have the strength to declare, I can do this. Pain builds warriors. Gets easier, I could tell you. Here won't be any pain, I could say. But the truth is, pressure never really goes away. It's about being stronger, not about life becoming easier. The real struggle starts when you're at your lowest, when you've cried your last tear, spent your last dollar. When there's nothing left but your breath and heartbeat, that's where it starts. That's where most people stop. But not you. You don't get to quit here. You don't get to give in now. This pain, this suffering, it's not the end. It's the fire that will forge your strength. But if you can still say, there is a chance, then hope is alive. And sometimes, that hope is the seed that grows into power. Dreams don't die because of failure. They die because not enough fight was put into them. So why do most people quit before they even begin? Because fear chains them. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment. Fear of not being enough. Fear is the silent killer of purpose. And the worst part is people let fear become louder than their future. Success isn't crowded because most people abandon the journey halfway. Comfort never changed anyone. You only lose when you stop swinging. You can be scared. You can be exhausted. But you cannot give up. You must not give up. Dreams are built in the details. Fear isn't strength. It's the anchor that drags you down. Say you're not afraid? You should be afraid of wasting your potential. Everyone else was created to fulfill their duties. But your voice, your spirit, your talent, they're one of a kind. Quitting is not your option. Although the tank is empty, you continue to travel forward, even when the lights go out. The fear you run from is the version of you that's waiting to be set free. Success doesn't define you. You define success. You must dig deep not for money, not for validation. When you approach fear differently, it loses its grip. You were always capable. You always had it in you. And if this speech woke something up inside you, then let it speak. Hit the bell icon.